to another episode of EMA Cloud Rants. Today we want to talk about a topic that's a little bit visionary, a little bit forward-looking. So please bear with us, don't roll your eyes. I promise there is something that you should and will take away from this conversation here between Jens and I today. Jens, how do customers today, how do they align their various IT teams with the individual business goals? So IT teams are the network operations center, the VM guys, the storage guys, and goals could be from top management, increase our market share for a certain product in a certain marketplace within the next quarter, right? So how do they align their management of IT to those goals?
Well, Torsten, definitely not tool-based right now, not in an automated fashion. I know a couple of very, very competent CIOs, but only like a handful in Germany that I think are able to do what you describe here, but they are extremely highly paid because they know their stuff.
But do they really, do they really have the ability to see through all of those layers in the data center, right? You start with the service layer, you go to the application. Underneath the application are the different server types, and the different VM types. Under the VM types are the different host and infrastructure hardware types, storage, network, compute, hybrid cloud, right? Even if you're a very clever CIO, is that possible that you can say, I'm making business-wise the correct decision? I'm buying EMC over Tintry or Pivot 3 or by Dell over, something CERT, can you really say that? And then once I've bought it, monitor and manage it in that way?
I mean, maybe not in the perfect, comprehensive way that you would like to see. Maybe partially, maybe these vendors, they all have a certain reputation for serving different kinds of the storage, like Pi, since you mentioned EMC and Pivot 3 and so on. Maybe one is better for databases, the other is better for general purpose file shares and so on, and VDI or whatever. But of course, there are certain tools that give you some sort of visibility, but not in that super clever, strategic, connecting way.
And when you buy a new SAN, for example, we were with storage, you buy a SAN in large increments, right? If you go to EMC and you have a lot of free capacity. So what are you going to do with that free capacity? Let's just put a lot of workloads on there, right? But a lot of those workloads, they may actually be totally fine with something that costs only 70% less money.
Probably because a lot of these workloads are mostly, I think, totally stale. So it's like only a subset of these workloads that really, really require the hotspots. Of course, these vendors like EMC, they also take care of that via tiering and so on. So there's technical solutions for that kind of.
Right.
But yeah, you're right.
But even the technical solution, you can do tiering, but the tiering still doesn't know if you have a hotspot. Is that hotspot actually relevant to the business? Or should I let the hotspot be a hotspot and let the storage latency increase a little bit? And, those guys may not be in a region that I want to serve first. I want to do a trade-off between ORAM and EMEA or between specific countries or products, maybe. Yeah, I'm okay with slower app, but I don't think there's anything that takes that into account. And Jens, when this changes, when the new business goal is, okay, now I don't care about the market share increase anymore. Now I want to defend another country or a different product, or I want to show my shareholders that I can gain market share with a brand new product, that changes again quarter over quarter or year over year. What do I do? I really don't have anything to get this translated to data center operations.
No, I think what you need is some sort of Uber brain that would be able to discern all these kind of things.
Right. Yeah, I mean, machine learning, artificial intelligence, right? Something that ties this all together, something that also reinforces its learning by saying, okay, I've had this following approach to sizing VMs, to configuring database clusters, to whatever. Here were the results in my context, and here's what I'm going to do next because I predict a result based on the new business requirements. I mean, there's a lot of data points that you could correlate.
Definitely, and I think no single tool right now exists. Definitely a multitude of different tools that can deliver a certain portion of that package, but no comprehensive tool so far as I'm informed.
No, I think so either. And this is really an interesting area for research in the future. We will definitely do empirical research at EMA, and we'll keep having this conversation because the 50% waste that our research shows and that you also confirm that customers see in hybrid cloud, over provisioning, not turning off resources, using resources that are too expensive for what they need, all of those things, they will not go away. They will get much, much worse based on the additional options offered to customers. So a solution will have to be found.
Definitely. I think someone will come up with it.
Thank you, Jens. This was another episode of EMA.